Good evening, this is Two Wolves. We are all related, and this is 25 March 2013. In this picture, workers hack away at the dock that floated 4,000 miles to an Olympic National Park beach. This is a National Park Service photo. Story from the PeninsulaDailyNews.com. Story came out yesterday. This is a photo gallery, and this is on the Olympic Peninsula. We'll go look at the article, and then I'll come back again to the photo gallery. From the Peninsula Daily News by Leah Leach. Story out of La Push. Concrete from a 65-foot-long dock pushed into the Pacific Ocean by a powerful tsunami in Japan and driven by currents some 4,000 miles to a remote North Olympic Peninsula Beach may end up under the tires of American drivers. There it is. I've got a story on my channel from about 2 months ago when it first washed in. Removal of the dock that lodged on a narrow wave-lashed shore south of La Push in December could be finished today if the weather holds, said Barb Maines, Olympic National Park spokeswoman. Crews with the Undersea Company, a diving and salvage service based in Port Townsend, are taking apart the 7.5-foot tall structure, which is on the beach of both Olympic National Park and Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary. That's the same place, actually. And loading the pieces on helicopters that airlift to a nearby landing field on Rainier property, Maines said. From there, the material is trucked to a waste transfer station near La Push, she said. Mind you, by the way, look up Rainier. They've got their finger in everything. But that doesn't mean that all of it will necessarily end up as garbage. Although it's up to the Undersea Company owners, concrete from the 185-ton dock eventually may be ground up for road material. What? I'm not sure what contractor will end up doing. with it, Maines said. Well, of course she knows. This is, after all, Washington State, right? Quite often, she went on, concrete is able to be recycled into road material. That is what is being done with the concrete from the dams as they are removed from the Elwha River in a $325 million National Park Service project to restore fish passage. The contractor has referred all comment to NOAA. Oh, surprise, surprise, whose spokeswoman was not immediately available. Surprise, surprise. Undersea Company workers have been able to work only during the lowest of tides and the best of weather to take apart the 65-foot-long structure near the mouth of Mosquito Creek. Oh, but hang on. This is tsunami debris from Japan. Very likely, possibly radioactive to some degree. Oh, hang on. That is not the same as a dam that was built in 1935. But, do they care? Anyway, going on, that meant that work began last Sunday was put on hold Wednesday because of high winds and dangerous seas. Weather conditions truncated the work window March 16th, but toward the end of the day, workers managed to set up equipment and safety supplies near the dock made of plastic foam encased in concrete, ecology officials said. During a long day last Sunday, workers tore into the structure with concrete saws. This is all good news if you live on the peninsula where there's no jobs. It's work, it's jobs. But anyhow, the plastic foam from the concrete hull and loaded it into helicopters, Northwest aircraft. Somebody didn't copy edit right here. That material will not be recycled, Maines said. But the steel rebar, steel rebar, found within the dock is likely to be, she said. Steel rebar. What do we know about radioactivity and... Anyway, the dock has to be taken apart because it has been damaged since it washed ashore and cannot be towed off the beach at high tide. It can't be sunk to serve as an artificial reef because of the threat the plastic foam poses to the environment. It was cleansed of non-native species, marine plants and animals not found in the States but native to Japan, in early January. And I keep wondering, we keep hearing about this whole thing about invasive species. I wonder if that's a euphemism for something else. What do you reckon? Workers removed more than 400 pounds of plant and animal life, and we don't know what else, and washed the dock with a diluted bleach solution to prevent the spread of, there it is again, invasive species. Some 30 to 50 species were found. Now, sidebar, Two Wolves Can't Resist saying, have you noticed the stories to the effect that debris tinged with possible invasive species may be quarantined? Do we really think that's because of the invasive species or something else, right? Anyway, to continue, the Japanese government identified the dock through a serial number as coming from Misawa, a northern fishing port that sustained extensive damage from the March 2011 tsunami. And then this references the dock that washed up in Oregon. Japan is paying most of the $628,000 cost of the removal of this dock, providing $478,000, while NOAA's Office of National Marine Sanctuaries and the NPS are paying $75,000 each. Important sentence. Look, the park has closed the coastal area between Goodman Creek and Jefferson Cove to the public. That's quite a substantial stretch of beach, fishing grounds, and, incidentally, native land. All right, well, I want you to think about this story. We'll keep this up for quite a while. Share this, please. People have been saying, what's happening to the tsunami debris? I'm saying it may be underfoot for a very long time. Two Wolves out.